Who jumps out of perfectly good airplanes in the name of science? Mr. C.
Well, 7th graders, here we are at Thursday already. Just the week is flying by. Okay, if you'll take these babies out, we'll work with both of these. Now, you can have your journal at the ready, but, if you had any notes to write, I'd write them on the lesson summaries. Okay? So, and you've got a white sheet from Mr. Phillips, so if you'll number to, for starters, 6, number to 6, it might be 10, go ahead and number to 10. Number to 10 on your white sheet, if you would. And then I've got a number of things I want to show you. So, again, this is our matching on the minerals. And I've got all my really cool minerals today. So, now, just a reminder about a few things. The test is Tuesday, right? So, tonight the homework is to review what we go over today. So, review it, go over it. I've got a number of things I want to show you first. So, you saw the video on the Ring of Fire. So there's the Ring of Fire. And there have been a number of earthquakes in the last 24 hours on the Ring of Fire. The biggest, and we haven't done earthquakes yet, but the biggest was a 5.6 on the Richter scale. Now the difference between, say, a 5 and a 6 is 10 times. So a 6 is 10 times more power, or you could say shaking, of a 5. So when you hear there's a 5 earthquake somewhere, that's a medium, small to medium sized earthquake. So anyway, I don't want to spend too much time on earthquakes, but if we had a 5, say, under the school, we'd feel it. You'd feel it. You'd shake a bit. You'd be a little concerned, but it's not a big one. A 6, on the other hand, 10 times stronger. A 7, 100 times stronger. So do you see how it works? It's exponential. Anyway, I don't have time to get off on that. So then I wanted to show you where the volcanoes are, the latest volcanoes. Here they are. Again, a bunch of them on the Ring of Fire. So one of my questions on your white sheet is going to be about earthquakes and volcanoes on the Ring of Fire. So I wanted to show you that. Then I've got some other show and tell that I'd like to show you. All right, this gal is Anna Wilson. Wilson, does that ring a bell? Any of you NFL fans? Seattle fans? Anna Wilson is the younger sister of, his first name is escaping me, Russell Wilson of the Seattle Seahawks. Anyway, the Stanford University women's basketball team defeated Arizona Sunday night in the women's NCAA finals. So they won it all. And here's what she says. One of the team's leaders, Anna Wilson, ended up being the Pac-12 co-defensive player of the year. So you ladies out there who play basketball, boy, is she to be looked up to. And here's what she says. She has said that she realizes all of her accomplishments are through Jesus Christ. That's true of all of us, isn't it? And she even has Colossians 3:23 listed in her Twitter bio, which says, "And whatever you do, do it heartily as to the Lord and not unto men." Before the championship game, Wilson took the time to send a tweet to her followers about Christ. "You can do all things," she tweeted. Jesus, you always come through," she wrote. And last April, she shared how her Christian faith helps keep her disciplined and how it helped her define success. "When things aren't going my way and it's tough on the court, I always whisper," wow, this gives me goosebumps, "He must increase and I must decrease." That's what John the Baptist said in the Gospels. Anyway, how cool is that? And then it ends up being a double. Look at this. This is the Baylor Bears. They won the national championship in the men's division. And here's what it says about them. One of the key players, it just said this, "Jesus Christ, He's the truth." And it says this, Baylor players celebrated and gave glory to God after the championship game. And their coach, who's a very strong Christian, here's what he says. The coach, "Our team has been special. Last 2 years winning as team in the Power 5. We've been really, really good, and they're even better people." And then he goes on to say this. He's built the team up around the theme of joy, J-O-Y. It's an acronym which stands for Jesus first, others second, yourself last. And then we're so blessed to have an unbelievable upperclassman in leadership. But it says we play with a culture of joy. And it says Drew guides the team by his own faith, having accepted Christ at a young age. His background similar to mine. He grew up in a Christian family and regularly attended church as a child. Anyway, it's really cool, his witness. And then there was also the Oral Roberts team that made it to the Final Four. And they're a solid Christian team. And they would pray after a game. And many Christians on their team. So God really got the glory here in March Madness, with the Stanford women's team winning it all, the Baylor men's team winning it all, and ORU finishing third or fourth, and just having a group of Christians on their team. So anyway, pretty cool. Then I'd like to show you this. I think I mentioned Jane Ann Arnold. This is one of my first cousins. Jane Ann is the daughter of my dad's older sister. And Jane Ann fell and hit her head 10 days ago and had bleeding on the brain. It was quite severe. And it wasn't thought really by her neurologist that she'd recover. But she's recovering. Hundreds of people are praying for her, maybe more than that, including moi, of course. I'm really concerned about her and her family. Anyway, her brain is gradually waking up. She was in a coma, but she's gradually starting to be able to wiggle her toes and squeeze people's hands and smile and go thumbs up. And anyway, so if you want to pray for Jane Ann Arnold, I would really appreciate it. It would be a blessing to me. So thank you. Okay. Well, I wanted you to see all of that. And then I'm really excited about all the rocks I'm going to show you. But in the meantime, I have some questions for you. Okay, on your white sheet, please do it on your own. Look around and get answers from other folks. Okay, this is number one. Number one, why are there frequent, earthquakes and volcanoes in the Ring of Fire? Why? Now, other places too, but why especially in the Ring of Fire? It's number one. Number two, volcanoes always communicate. I'm going to erupt. I'm going to erupt. I'm going to erupt. Hey up there, I'm going to erupt. How do we know scientifically that there's a good chance a volcano might erupt in the coming days? How do we know that? So write your answer down, number two, on your white sheet. Number three, two answers for number three, A and B. The deeper you go into the earth, what goes up? Two things go up. Two things, you get more of these two things. It's number three. The deeper you go into the earth, what happens? This goes up and this goes up. What two variables? All right, number four. I'm going to show it to you. Here it is. Number four, this is the kind of igneous rock found on the ocean floor, ocean crust. Boy, it looks like it's igneous. It looks volcanic, right? Igneous, volcanic, right? Well, it is. What's the name of it? All this going to be on the tests next week? You betcha. So that was number four. Number five, what is the name of this one? Here it is. This one right here, I call it the salt and pepper one. Let's see if you can see some of its salt and pepperishness. Trying to find the right focal length. We've got this all over campus. This makes up the majority of continental crust. The other one was ocean crust. So that's five. Number six. What do we call atomic packing? How tight the atoms are packed? This, if I can find it, this is probably the densest mineral I've got. It's number three. It's loaded with iron. So what do you call atomic packing? You're welcome. Number seven, last one. Name one way that crystals are formed. Minerals have crystals. Name one way they are formed. How are they formed? Please don't write down very carefully one specific way that crystals are formed in minerals. Oh, I'll stop it there. I was going to say go ahead and write NICS, but the five characteristics of minerals, naturally occurring in organic, not from living things, unique crystals, unique chemicals, and then there's solids. Okay, let's see how you did on the answers. Now this was just practice. All of these will be on your test next Tuesday. Why are there volcanoes and earthquakes frequently in the Ring of Fire? Pourquoi? Why? Because the chunks of the Earth's crust that were most likely broken up by the Great Global Flood are moving around, bumping into each other, going under each other, and causing earthquakes and volcanoes. And then what two things, the deeper you go into the earth, go up? Pressure goes up, more and more pressure the deeper you go, and then the temperature goes up. Finally, it gets to be 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit in the center. The same temperature roughly as the surface of the sun. Amazing, huh? All right, number four, oceanic crust is made of basalt. B-A-S-A-L-T, basalt. And then number five, continental crust is made of this salt and peppery one, which is granite all over campus, big chunks of it. So that was number 5. Atomic packing is density. You're welcome. And then name one way crystals are made. Here's a beautiful quartz crystal. Really big crystal. And they're made in one of 2 ways. By cooling, by magma cooling, or lava, or by dissolving, being dissolved, chemicals dissolved, and then the liquid evaporates and it forms the crystals. Now, if you got a perfect, turn it in. Turn it in. You have to have perfect though. Turn it in for a 7 out of 7 if you had a perfect. Put your name on it, name, date, period, upper right-hand corner, like everything. Okay. Okay, I'm going to take a brief break, then I'm going to be back. And just anything that you need clarified. So, quick break, anything clarified, Mr. Phillip will help out. Hands up on that. And then I'll be back and get ready for LS3. LS3. Okay, I'm back, and you've got LS3 all ready to go. Highlighter? Those of you who are highlighter fans? I was always a highlighter fan in school, especially college. Okay, so anyway, you've got LS3. So I'd like you to highlight that top sentence first, if you would. To study a rock sample, geologists, see if I can get it, observe the rock's minerals, color, texture, all of those are properties. And then minerals, let's see, next, geologists have right down here the 3 kinds of rocks that you've already got in your journal, but highlight them here. Geologists have classified rocks into 3 major groups. Sedimentary, sediment that is squeezed together, most of it by the Great Flood. And then igneous, cooling. What's this? Crystals. Crystals form as it cools. Igneous, or I could go crystals, formation of crystals. Then you've got metamorphic. So meta, pressure and heat, changes it into something else. Now by metamorphic, I'd like you to put an example there. Here's an example. I think I've got a nice example. Do I have it here? Yes, I do. Here it is. This one, so I'd like you to just put the 2 minerals and maybe a dash in between. So this is, do I actually have it? Where is it? So I may not have the 2 examples here today. Yes, I do. Okay. This is limestone. Limestone gets heated and squeezed and turned into marble. So limestone into marble. There where it says metamorphic. Limestone to marble. So you know where I'd put that? I'd put that right down here underneath metamorphic. Right down there. See that right there. Limestone into marble. And another one is shale is turned into slate. It gets heated and squeezed. I've actually got it. This is shale. It's made from mud that gets squeezed together, and it's squeezed into slate, which is a metamorphic rock and has layers. So there's two examples of metamorphic pairs. Limestone into marble and shale into slate. I should do it like this, right? Shale to slate. Shale to slate. So anyhow, if you'll get all those down, and then let's go over on your mineral sheet. We've done 3. Let's see how many more we could get. I'd like to get another 7, but I would have to hustle. Let's give it a try and see what happens. All right, are you ready? Okay, number 4, I've got to locate number 4. Oh, where? Oh, there it is, number 4. Number 4 is this kind of reddish orange one. Mr. C, does it have iron in it? It does. So, and it's hematite. So find hematite, Hematite, hematite. Have you found it? It's at the bottom of the first page. It says hematite. And here's what it says about it. It comes from the Greek word hema, which means blood. Hematite is the ore from which we get most of our iron. You know how iron in the soil on the earth and on Mars has that reddish orange color. Hematite. So above hematite, put number 4. Here's number 5. Whew. Number 5 is super dense. Here it is. It's kind of shiny, Mr. C. It's got high luster. Yes, it does. Extremely dense. Here's what it is. Number 5 is galena. And galena has lead metal in it. So I like to teach it this way. You pronounce it galena, but I like to teach it galena has lead in it. The Greeks used it for a kind of lead ore, and they actually put it in their water pipes. The Romans did. Bad news. The lead particles would flake off in their water pipes, and they'd drink it and get lead into their system, and it would stick in their brain and cause brain damage. Not good. Galena, lead, number 5. Galena, lead. So have you got that one? All right, number 6. 6 is a cool one. Here's the way I like to teach it. Biotite is black. And it's got layers. You can, watch this, you can peel off. Let's see if I can peel off a layer of it. It's pretty hard, this sample is. Usually you can peel off sections with your fingernail. Now I'm getting a little bit of it flaking off, but I'm not being really successful. There's a little bit, but not much. So biotite is black mica. Biotite. Number 6 above biotite. Number 6. Black mica. Biotite, black mica. And a little story about it. It was named for a Frenchman whose name actually was pronounced Bio. And it's a black mica. Large sheets of it was once used to make heat-resistant windows in ovens and furnaces. Not anymore. So biotite, black mica. How are we doing? Pretty good. I think we've got a shot at getting 10 in. All right, here is number 7. I think it's here somewhere. Number 7. Yeah, here it is. I referenced it already. Number 7 is this mud rock mud that got squeezed together. Is it sedimentary? Of course, yeah. Sedimentary, mud squeezed together, sediment squeezed together. Number 7. And it is shale. Number 7 is shale on the second page. And it comes from the German word meaning shell. It's a sedimentary rock. It formed when layers of mud. Now it says we're under pressure for a long time, but they didn't need to be. The flood could have formed them really quick. So, shale. Hey, you might put right under shale GGF as a reminder. Right underneath shale GGF. I'm doing that, and I'll show it to you. Shale, right underneath it, GGF. Shale, Great Global Flood formed most of that. All right, number 8. So that's mud. Number 8 is fun. I already held it up. When limestone is heated and squeezed, it becomes this one. Let's see if I can get you to see the sparkly nature of it. Trust me, it's got hundreds and hundreds of sparkles on it. And because of it, it's called the shining stone. It's marble. So above marble, put number 8. The name comes from the Greek marmaros, which means shining stone. It's metamorphic. I'll try it again. It's metamorphic. It was limestone that was heated and squeezed into it. You might put underneath marble limestone, or draw an arrow down from limestone to marble. So that's number 8. Marble, number 8. Number 9 was the end product of when shale is formed. I showed it to you already. Here it is. It's got layers. It's metamorphic. This is slate. So number 9 is slate. What page, Mr. C? It's on the second page. Slate, number 9. You're putting these down, right? Mr. C, what do we have to know about these? Well, you're going to have to ID them. It'll be a matching. But I'm going to, the matching on this one might be it's a metamorphic rock which forms when when shale is heated and squeezed. So here's what it says. This comes from the old French word esclave, which means slat. It's metamorphic, formed from shale under great pressure. So, number 9. How about 10? Have you got it? I do. Oh, and it's one of my favorites. And it is loaded with iron again, so it's very, very what? Dense. Look at it. I should hold it up like this. Now this one looks like gold. So its common name is fool's gold. Whenever there was a gold rush, like in California in I think they were called 49ers, 1849. So when they found this, they thought they were rich because it was really heavy. Gold's really heavy. So they thought they had found gold, so they'd take it into the assayer's office, and he'd look at it and do some tests on it and he'd go, not only are you not rich, you're a fool, because it's not gold, it's iron pyrite. So just take your iron pyrite and go throw it out in the desert. Just chuck it out on the desert. So let someone else find it and be fooled. So iron pyrite, it's on the first page. Is it on the back page? Back page. Yeah. Iron pyrite, number 10, fool's gold. See that? iron pyrite, fool's gold. So we finished 10. We made great progress. Tomorrow, I hope actually to get through another 10 or so. I really hope. So I hope we'll get to 20 by tomorrow. How many total are there? I think I've got like 25. 25. So do we need to study this tonight too? Yeah. Study the key ideas to all these minerals. So there you have them. Fun stuff, huh? All these mystery minerals. Oh, I love rocks and minerals. My favorite, though, purple quartz. My favorite. Basalt, found on the seafloor, and then granite, found in continental crust. Okay, Mr. Phillip, thank you, sir. If you'll answer any questions they have, maybe go over anything they missed. Thank you for the help. See you on Happy Aloha Friday.